It's 5 p.m.
All right, quiet on the set.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live. Let's start the party.
Broadcasting around the world.
OurBroadcastLink.com.
This is your number one internet station. The music you love right here, right now.
OurBroadcastLink.com.
It's another live broadcast. Now your hosts, Rob and Jerry.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, kids. It's all good because you guys are here with us and we're here with you on Polkas After Dark on Facebook Live and also
on YouTube.
YouTube, yep. See, we're trying to migrate slowly out of the Our Broadcast link. We have canceled
but
the
I'm reading it.
I know.
As you said that, I was like, what?
I know. We got to change some of the screens. Hey, we're excited that you're joining us today, and we're also excited because somebody from Colorado is joining us today. Let's see, it's got to be 3:02 p.m. out where Mr. Zach is at right now. And Jimmy Zersega, that's easy for me to say. We're going to start this again, aren't we?
Yep.
Jimmy Zersega's son, Zachary, is going to be joining us today live. One of the questions I want to ask him is, does he ski in the afternoon and swim in the pool in the evening or whatever?
Okay.
Because I think that temperature thing, doesn't that...
I have no idea.
I think it is. Well, I don't know for sure, but I have no idea, and that's why we're going to be asking Zach that question. Hey, let's start off a tune by The Good Times featuring Jim Sierzega on the trumpet. Here's one called Kick in the Brass, and of course you're going to love the drumming on this. It's none other than Mr. Roger Malinowski. And just a great tune by Dennis Motyka and The Good Times. Hey, good afternoon to Basha, Lynn, and Bob. Also, Vincent Marie Sosnowski, Linda Petrozeski, Chris Curtis, Don Suhan Rogers is here, and Mike Pasheb from WXRL.
After we play this polka, we hope that you will soon add it to your list of all-time favorite polka tunes. The melody is quite simple, with a beat that's not too fast. And when we stop our singing, we will kick in the brass, kick in the brass. Kick in the brass. We get our kicks with a polka fix. Let's kick in the brass, kick in the brass. Kick in the brass. We get our kicks with a polka fix. Let's kick in the brass.
what a great way to start a Sunday afternoon. Polkas After Dark with the Good Times Band, Dennis Motika and Company. There's one called Kick in the Brass. Hey, you guys saw that little promo that I did about an hour ago, and we are fortunate enough to have some live Eddie Blazonczyk and the Versatones tunes that were sent to us from Mr. Ed Weasel Walensky. And you guys have heard me say this all the time, and I will continue to say this. There were some great trumpet players throughout Eddie Blazonczyk's Versatones. Lenny Gomolka, of course, top-notch. Chet Kawakowski, top-notch. But my favorite duet, and I got to say this from the heart sincerely, my favorites were Ed Weasel Walensky and Jimmy Sierzega. And let me share with you a little bit why. Hey, hello to Dr. Pilecki and Andy.
Cielo naprawdę sky, moim ogródeczku i ciepło sięga, żeby po niej wrócił. Kochany Josieku, wróć do mnie, wróć do mnie, niech moje serduszko za tobą nie płacze.
Hey, good evening to Erica, Belinda McMaster, also to Debbie and Jerry Rymanowski, and also the captain of the Haruku's Hellraisers, Gil Vojtovich is here. Let's see who else. Linda and Art Gaylor. Welcome, and Ivan Mayers. Hello to you. Boy, we got a great turnout this afternoon so far. Jeff Yash is joining us all the way from close to the Albany area. And let's see who else. Steve Machoni, thank you so much, and Kevin Pilarski. Blazon and the Versatones with the horn section, the rhythm section that rocked. And we are welcoming you guys to Polkas After Dark right here on the Sunday afternoon edition. Hey, we're going to say hello to some more people that have just popped in here. John and Marge Subcheck from Florida. They are here this afternoon. Welcome. Roger Malinowski once again, drummer extraordinaire. Zach, if you have any pull, you got to contact Mr. Malinowski and see if we can't get him on for an interview. I've been bugging that guy for the last 3 years since we've been doing this. Hey, Dennis Motika is here from the Good Times Band. We interviewed Dennis, I think maybe about 2 years ago, if not longer. And we're going to say hello to Val Dingus Day. We're going to be telling you all about those Dingus Day events that are going to be coming up, including that big one, which is going to be back at the M Hotel, formerly the Millennium Hotel. And that is over at 2040 Walden Avenue in Cheektowaga, New York. If you want to make your reservations, do it soon at 716-681-2400 and tell them that you are booking with the Polka Gang. And I don't know if there's a special thing or not that the guys use. Hey, we also have Dan Novak here. Marion Rindek-Palecki, she is here. Good afternoon to you, my dear. Janice Kuchmarski, let's see here, Bruce Michaels, a.k.a. Bruce Novak, Dave Slowinski, he is tuned in, also Christine Kapanowski. We hope everybody that was on the cruise had a great time, and we saw a lot of fantastic videos from there, so we know that you guys did. Also, Mr. Andy Haverlick is here with us, and Daniel Liskevich. Hey, we've got something kind of unique that we're going to play for you guys right now. I hope this does come in pretty good. Zach sent this to us early this morning, and he said, hey, if you get a chance, play this. This is Grandpa and I believe Dad on the concertinas. And, well, we're just going to play it for you guys and let you hear it. Angeline, Be Mine. Unbelievable. Ted Zierzega, Grandpa, is who played the concertina on that. I thought it was both him and Jimmy doing a duet because Jim, of course, a fantastic musician, not only playing trumpet, also playing concertina. I think he played a little bit of keyboards too. But we're going to be talking live with Zach Jersa in just about 15 more minutes. I'm going to be getting him on the phone, and we're just going to get a chance to pick his brain and find out a little bit what Dad was like behind the scenes, because everybody knew what Dad was like on stage with the Versatones and also with Dennis Moteka's Good Times Band. We're going to say hi to Taj Simzak. He is tuned in. Greg Schwoidak from WXRL, AM 1300, 95.5 FM, and streaming on WXRL.com. Let's see here. Who else do we have?
The Goldens.
And the Goldens here.
Goldens are here.
Ah, okay.
And Christine Kapanowski.
Yes. And also, let's see, we're going to say hello to Ashley in YouTube land. And we do stress, folks, that if you're getting a little bit of a fluctuation, maybe the music is going fast, it's speeding up and then slowing down, then speeding up again, that's not on our end. But what you could do is you could take a run over to youtube.com, type in Polkas After Dark into the search, click on the live. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because we'd love to have you be a subscriber over there. Let's see here. Very good, Robin. My grandmother's name was Angeline. Aha. Angeline. Tomato. Hey, speaking of tomato and tomatoes, we're going to play this song. These guys are going to be performing at Stolat. And that is, of course, none other than the Buffalo Concertina All-Stars. Here's a tune called Mary's Knockin'. I think Mr. Schwoidak sings this tune too, if I'm not mistaken.
Puka Maryś do Jasia drzwi, drogi Jasieńku, otwórz mi. Otwórz Jasieńku swe serduszko, bo będę twoją kochaneczka. Otwórz Jasieńku swe serduszko, to będę twoją kochaneczka. Puka Maryś, puka głośno, do Jasieneczka w okieneczko. Otwórz Jasieńku, nie będzie sam, a ja ci za to buziaka dam. Otwórz Jasieńku, nie będzie sam, a ja ci za to buziaka dam. Mary's knocking on Johnny's door. Please, my dear Johnny, take me once more. Take me once more, dear, and hold me tight, or I will knock on your door all night. Take me once more, dear, and hold me tight, or I will knock on your door all night. I will be knocking each night and day, until you tell me that I can stay, dear, and be with you.
That's the Buffalo Concertina All-Stars. I had a blast playing with them for about, I want to say maybe a year and a half. I recorded 4 of their 5 recordings on, I was going to say on bass, but I did 3 on bass and 1 on drums, as a matter of fact. That's kind of crazy. Had a lot of fun with those guys. They're a bunch of clowns off and on the stage, but boy, do they make a nice sound, that's for sure. Let's see, Mr. Michael Fadella is joining us. Also, Chuck Troiani. Good afternoon, good evening to you, Chuck. Also, Georgianne Havey, Barb Bukowski, and husband Al are here this evening. Also, David Korch, once again, welcome to you, David. Donna Zielinski is here from Niagara Falls. I had missed her the first time, but I'm scrolling through and seeing a whole bunch of folks. Also, Marcia Moscato is here from the Buffalo Polka Boosters. We want to say hi and howdy to you. Also, you have somebody that had mentioned they're excited about the interview with Zach. Who is that,
It
Jerry?
is Bob and Jan Shima.
Oh, Bobby Zima. Holy smokes. You know, we had Bobby on, I want to say, not too awful long ago for an interview, dynamic drummer. 3 of my favorite drummers in no specific order. Roger Malinowski, Bobby Zima, Jerry Tokarz. Those were my 3 idols that I listened to growing up. And unfortunately, I still haven't grown up yet, but hey, that's beside the point. Hey, let's do another one by Mr. Dennis Motik and the Good Times featuring Jimmy on the trumpet. Here's one called the Chrome Dome Polka. Oh, yeah, Richie Tokaj on the vocal with that. And folks, without any further ado, we are excited to have a gentleman that I have never personally met, and I hope to at some point. But we want to say hello to all the folks on YouTube, also Facebook Live, as we bring up to the microphone on Polkas After Dark, Mr. Zach Jersa. Zach, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Robin.
Oh, that's perfect, and great quality there, too. Hey, tell me a little bit about, first of all, Zach, when did you move from Chicago and relocate to Colorado?
So I graduated, I went to the Illinois Institute of Technology for my undergraduate degree, and I finished in 2020, right when the pandemic hit.
Oh, wow.
And at that time, I was deciding where to go to graduate school, and so I decided on the University of Colorado Boulder. And in that fall, actually, well, not fall, early August, I moved out to Colorado, August 2020, and I've been here since.
Oh, wow. That is totally amazing. And we just want to get a chance to pick your brain a little bit. Well, can you tell us a little bit about what you do out there in Colorado?
Sure. Yeah, so like I said, I moved out here for graduate school. I'm in the fourth year of my PhD program in physics.
Okay.
So what I'm doing out here at this point is just a bunch of research in physics, of course. So my subdiscipline of physics, I could tell you about it. Ask anything you want. Go ahead.
Beautiful. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what you do there.
So physics is sort of a broad category, and sometimes it's a little hard to articulate what I'm doing. But my particular subdiscipline is condensed matter physics. So I think a lot of people get this mental image of, you say physics and they think space, or they think, you know, the big circle in Europe where they're smashing particles together and things like that. My subdiscipline focuses mostly on solid state systems. So
wow,
what's going on in crystalline materials. There's a lot of rich physics going on in there. That's what I study. So
awesome.
That's what I'm out here doing.
Awesome. And does Mom still live in Chicago, Illinois, or is she out there by you?
No, Mom's still in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, I'm just out here by myself.
Gotcha. All by your lonesome. Hey, you know, we put together a photo collage, and I want to thank publicly Dennis Motika, first of all, also Eddie Blazon Jr., and of course yourself, because you put a lot of these into play, and we thank you so very much. Those are going to be coming up on the screen here shortly. But tell us a little bit about what it was like you traveled a little bit with Dad. Now, let's first of all, again, I want to focus more on you at first here, but let's find out a little bit about where you guys went as you were growing up. Did you do any nice vacations or anything like that, or mostly stick towards home?
In general, well, first of all, let me thank my mom also, who prepared some of those photos that you've got. She was really helpful with scanning and getting stuff over to. I'm 1,000 miles away from Chicago, so I had to, you know, rely on some great people like my mom who were able to put that together. But to answer your question, as a kid, yeah, vacations, you know, we did traveling as a family, you know, me, my dad, and my mom. We'd go up, actually to the Wisconsin Dells was a place we would go a lot.
Oh, tell me a little bit about that. Who was the first band that you heard with
No,
concert
that's
band.
external to polkas. We used to just go there.
Oh, really?
But with bands, we did a lot of traveling. The two festivals I remember going to every year almost with Junior in the Versatones were Frankenmuth and Seven Springs. Like clockwork, almost every year. My dad went every year, and almost every year I went with him.
Yeah. Okay, so there's also a picture that we were displaying earlier and last evening that showed your dad on trumpet, and there was a little guy that was in front of Dad, kind of playing trumpet there too. Was that you?
That is me, and there is a funny story I have to tell about that.
Please.
So, not specific to that instance, but I used to go, when the good times were playing, there were a lot of instances of me, standing by Dad with my little plastic trumpet because, he was my dad and I wanted to be just like him. And I got to be on stage, and I'll never forget this one time. I don't remember where they were playing. I was real little, but it's a memory that sticks out in my head. If you watch my dad play, and you could see it on YouTube videos of, all the generations of polka bands he was in, with Eddie Sr., with the good times, he was really on top of his stuff, especially with making sure his spit valve was empty. And I'm sitting there, and I'm this little kid, and I've got my plastic trumpet.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. My dad, I'm watching him, and he empties his spit valve. And I look at my little plastic trumpet. I can't do that. I don't have a spit valve. So I just spit on the floor. And my dad, I'm a little guy, and my dad, he's sitting there, and he looks at me. Hey, don't do that. No, you can't do that. Oh, oops, sorry. But I just wanted to be just like him in the moment, and that's a real funny memory because I think they were in the middle of the tune too, and he just happened to, kind of catch me out of the corner of his eye and say, "What are you doing? You can't do that."
Holy smokes, that takes the cake, Zach. I cannot believe that. That is funny. Holy smokes. So tell us, so you got a chance to hang out with Junior Blazon and, of course, Eddie Sr. During those particular days. How about enlightening us a little bit about with the travel to Frankenmuth and Seven Springs? I mean, that to a little guy has got to be huge. I mean, literally. No pun intended.
Oh, yeah. We had a ton of fun. I remember those bus rides, with the whole band, and we'd get there early in the morning, go over to Bel Air where they park the bus, and show up, and everybody loads on the bus, and Junior's kids, Kale and Anya, who were also, they're about my age.
Yeah.
We'd, take the bus together, and it was a ton of fun, and I have a lot of memories of, my dad would bring, and you can ask Jan about this, because I think she was the one who used to have to vacuum up the kernels that got dropped afterwards. He would bring this big bag of popcorn with him every time. He loved making popcorn. And he had just his own recipe down pat. He'd pop it, he'd bring it in this bag, and then we'd hit the road. And it was always a ton of fun, driving up to Michigan, driving to Pennsylvania, just being around the guys. And when you're a little kid, you're not really processing what's going on, but now looking back on it, those are great memories of everybody.
Well, let's see here. How old are you, Zach? Do you want to let us know?
Yeah, I'm 26.
26. Okay, so you're still young, and even guys like myself, Bobby Zima, Roger Malinowski, and all the clan that's here, Dennis Moteka, we will probably admit first off that we are still kids at heart. And there's
Yes.
a lot of things that we have done and continue to do that probably we shouldn't. But it's been a great time. Cheryl Rogers is here. Steve Rogers is also joining us right now. So again, Dave Matera. Do you remember David from Chicago, playing with Stashka Lanka and the Chicago Masters for years?
There's a lot of names you're going to say that are going to ring a bell that I haven't heard in a long time, and that one rings a bell, but I cannot put a face, and I'm sorry about that. To all the people who you're going to mention who I'm going to not know, I apologize in advance, but, I was a young kid, so there's a lot of stuff that, when you're that young, you don't remember, you don't really realize what's going on.
So now I got to ask, do you actually play the trumpet? Have you picked up any instrument whatsoever?
Yeah. So when I was about 3 or 4, my dad asked me, hey, do you want to start piano lessons? And of course, I said yes. So I've been playing piano ever since. I had a brief stint in the school district I was in. We were allowed to start band in 4th grade. So I had a brief stint in trumpet, but I never really progressed too far. I played it in school, and that was about it when I got out of junior high. Recently, and I've been getting really actually into concertina. I picked up concertina about a year ago, and
wow,
it's
sweet.
been a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, that is great. So you're self-teaching at this point with that, correct?
For concertina, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, good for
Yeah.
you. Good for you. What are the instruments that Dad played besides trumpet?
Oh, geez. It depends on how you define play. So he was a music teacher for a while, and actually, as part of that requirement of being a music teacher, he had to gain basic proficiency on basically every instrument he had to teach.
That's great.
But if you were to ask him, he was a horn player, and that was his passion. That was his life. You know that. I know that.
Everybody knows that.
He
That saw him
he
on
would
stage.
he would tell you he's a horn player, and that's it. But we all know he also played concertina on the hockey sets. So those two were really his instruments, but trumpet above all else, of course.
He played with some polka greats. He played with Derek. He played with Kevin Adams. Let's see here. Of course, you heard me mention one of my favorite teams, which was Weasel and Sierzega. Everybody says Weasel and Sierzega. I got to share something with you. I played with a local band back here in Buffalo, not only the Dynatones, but before that, from 1984 to 1995, I performed with a band called Big Steve and the Bel Airs. We didn't do a whole lot of traveling. We did some, but not a lot. But every time we would play locally at a wedding or a dance, your dad was playing with Blazon over at either St. Michael's in Lackawanna or what was the other one, St. Barbara's. And each location, back in those days, Zach, it was nothing to draw 400, 500 to 600 people with all the parishioners that supported the church, as well as, all their functions, their spaghetti dinners and so on. But this band, Big Steve and the Bel Airs, we could not wait to get done with our gigs because we would pack up, hightail it over to one of these two churches that your dad would be playing with Eddie, and where they're like, oh, we hope we can catch at least the last song or two songs. When we walked in, the place was mobbed, and that Eddie Sr. and even Eddie Jr., when he took over the band, they never quit on time. They always played 15 minutes, 20 minutes over. Well, Sr. this one evening, played 30 minutes over, and we were just ecstatic. That's when I really got the appreciation of watching Weasel and Jimmy on stage. And I also made a comment to you on Facebook, and I mean this sincerely. I asked your dad one time at one of these no, it was at Seven Springs that I asked him. I said, Jimmy, will you stand a little closer to the edge of the stage when you play? And he said, well, why do you want me to do that? I said, because I want to see where that hose is coming from that's going up your rear end, because I have never seen anybody in my life have such control over air. And he said, well, what I do is I play, but I also breathe through my nose. And you can hear that in a lot of the stuff that was played. And I also commented to you as well that clarinet players are amazing to do this. They can play the beginning of the song. They can play throughout the vocals. They can play through the riffs and even maybe take a solo and play to the end. But never, ever, ever saw somebody do what your dad did, playing straight through stuff. And it's in a lot of these recordings that Weasel had sent us. And it's just amazing. It really, really is. So hats off to Dad. I can't give him, more kudos than what I can right now, because he was just something. And always when I watched those guys play, I'd get goosebumps.
You know, he was practicing trumpet even when he wasn't practicing trumpet. I mean, all that seriously, all that lung capacity stuff. When he wasn't playing horn, he was out running. You know, I think when he was with Senior, he had a folding bike, taking the bus.
Oh, really?
And actually go out, you know, in between sets or whatever they were doing, you know, out on the road. He'd make sure he got his exercise in, and keep his lung capacity up, and just always. He was always, you know, on top of his game. And
holy smokes.
Even when I was a kid, you know, he was playing with Junior, he was playing with Dennis, and they weren't full-time on the road, but he was still putting in hours and hours of practice. I mean, I remember he'd go downstairs, put on the TV, you know, put it on low volume or mute, watch a basketball game, and just drill exercises for hours. Sit down, open the Arbenz book, and just go for it. And I remember sitting upstairs, and I was a kid doing my thing, and you just hear it all day in the basement, scales, all sorts of exercises. And my mom will tell you she lived with him, you know, after they got married in the 80s, it was even more. He was probably practicing, you know, 8-10 hours a day. He was just going for it.
Well,
he wanted to be, you know, he wanted to sound good when he got on stage.
Well, that he did. Jerry just said mission accomplished because she listens to all of these interviews too. Zach, tell us a little bit more of some of the highlights. You know, you mentioned Frankenmuth, you mentioned Seven Springs. What was it like to be a kid walking around and seeing your dad on stage and seeing these people in the crowd just go nuts?
You know, I was talking about that with my mom over the past week, because when I was a kid, and when you're a kid, to you and to other people, it's Jimmy Sierzega on stage, and oh wow, and to me, that's my dad. And I remember he'd be on stage, and he was, you know, such a nice guy and such a great dad. He always put me first. I remember not really thinking about what I'm doing, and sometimes I'd go on stage, they'd be in the middle of playing, and I'd be asking them, I'm hungry, can we get food? You know, just goofy stuff that, you know, when you're 4 years old, you're not really processing what's going on, and, you know, he would take the time to say, yeah, hey, here's a couple of bucks, go get, you know, how about you go ask your mom, I'm a little busy right now. And, but he always made time, you know, especially at Seven Springs and Frankenmuth, those bigger festivals, when people wanted to talk to him, he always made time to go do stuff with me and my mom, and that's really great, you know, because that's how I remember him, is he was a family man. Sure. And we got to do a lot of stuff at those festivals outside of polkas because he wanted to, you know, just have family time, and that's what he was about.
Oh man!
And of course, he made time for the people too.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he never, you know, you see a lot of musicians, not so much nowadays because they've kind of learned what they need to do when they walk off stage, but a lot of musicians would just walk off the stage and kind of go in their own little world, where your dad, Weasel, Jerry Darlak, Richie Tokarz, Al Pietkowski, those guys would kind of walk around and talk to you and spend a couple of minutes with you, making you feel like you were somebody.
Oh, and and I remember that, because I didn't, you know, when you're little, I didn't really get it. Who are these people who want to talk to my dad? Why is he talking to all these people? I'm hungry. I want to go on the carnival ride with my dad. You know, we used to go on the Alpine coaster at Seven Springs and go do, they installed a disc golf course. We'd go do that, you know, in between sets. And, it was a good time. And I actually got to play on stage with him once.
Oh, man.
I played trumpet a little bit when I was in school, and they were playing a dance with Junior and the Versatones at Glendora House. And I think I was in maybe 4th, 5th grade. I had just picked up the horn, and they were playing the Bride and Groom Polka. And you know how that tune goes. You know, they kind of have those little 2-note riffs, and then Junior sings for a while, and then they do another 2-note riff, and they change keys. And, I'm sitting on the edge of the stage, you know, just having fun, playing around. And my dad, you know, leans over. He said, "Hey, come here. Whoa, what? What's going on?" And he sticks the horn in my hand, lowers the microphone down. Like, okay, these 2 notes. Play these 2 notes. Okay, you know. So I'm standing next to Jerry Kaminsky, and I knew the tune. I was old enough that I knew the tune, and the time came. He's like, okay, go. And I played my 2 notes, and he's like, oh yeah, good, great. Took the horn back from me. I got off stage. He finished the tune, and I think at the time I was thinking, whoa, what was that? But now looking back, yeah, that's a good memory.
Man, that's a huge memory. Holy smokes. We've got some people that are chiming in. Karen Hootie says hello. She says she loves this, spoken from his heart, which indeed that's what you're doing. We see a lot of people. Beth Zamorsky, I got to make this comment. Beth says, what a nice tribute to a great guy gone too soon. He was always so kind to me when I was a young drunk at the bar. Beth, that's a priceless comment. That'll be here forever. Oh, geez. Also, Don Suhan Rogers from... she is actually a flight attendant, and she goes to a lot of polka events. She's now playing with I was going to say Dixie Chicks, the Polski Chicks, and she's playing Concertina now. But she thought it was important for him to spit on the stage. So cute, So we're getting a lot of feedback on here. And again, I think I mentioned to you, this is probably the largest crowd, both in the comment section that are in the chat rooms, and also we're seeing other folks just watching and listening, which is cool. I'm going to ask you a few more questions here if I can.
Sure.
Let's see here. Do you play any sports? Are you active in any sports?
I used to be a swimmer. I used to swim a lot in high school and before high school, but in high school. In college, not so much. I was always active, going to the gym, lifting weights, things like that. But when I moved to Colorado, big into skiing. Yeah, you have to when you're out here. So I do a ton of downhill skiing, cross-country skiing,
Wow.
things like that. Yeah.
Nice. Have you ever been inside the recording studio when Dad lit up the microphone inside a studio?
Oh yeah.
Tell us some
Yeah.
of the experiences from a kid's point of view as to what you saw.
Actually, yeah, if I knew you were going to ask me that, I have a couple photos of me playing drums with the Good Times in the studio. Yeah, in the studio. I mean, my dad has photos. I'm sitting there with my drumsticks. I'm probably, 2-3 years old. I don't know. But I have memories of being in Bel Air when he was recording both with Junior and Stephanie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he would go into the studio for a couple hours. I remember one time, and I sat back in the, in the engineering room where the control boards are, and
Sure.
He cut his parts, and I was sitting there. Again, I was a little guy, so I was sitting there playing with my toys or whatever, and him and Junior, or him and Stephanie, or whoever was there, did their business, and then afterwards, we were off to go get a burger and go to the auto show or whatever it was he wanted to do with me for the day. But I did get to see that stuff, and I do remember it. And he was pretty efficient when it came to recording, from what I remember. He got in, did his parts, and that was it.
I've got a comment on this because I had a conversation back a few years with Stephanie. And was it the Polka Memories recording that he did? I'm trying to remember.
He did 3 with Stephanie.
Okay. All right. Well, and you can tell when you hear the trumpet on Stephanie's recordings which ones he did, because he just had a certain finesse, a certain tone that nobody else had, nobody replicated. But I remember talking with Stephanie, and she had commented on that exact same thing. She says, Jimmy, he walks in, he, takes his horn out of the case, he blows a couple of notes, he plays the parts, and he's done. And it just blew her away. It really did.
And you're a musician, and you get it, and it's sort of, when you first start to learn music and an instrument, the first thing you're doing is just fighting the instrument, right? You want to learn how to play a few notes, and you want to do that, and then eventually, you can maybe figure out how to play a couple melodies, or you can get up there and you can play some notes. And the thing that really set him apart, is just the musicianship. It wasn't just getting up there and playing the right notes in the right order, but as you practice more, and he did. I mean, he practiced just so much. He was talented for sure, but there was a ton of practice that went into that.
There are certain, I'm going to interrupt you because there are certain people that are talented. And if you've ever caught any of the interviews, I always mention that there's a lot of guys that aren't really talented. They have a God-given gift. And that is something that your dad had. I mean, yeah, sure, he practiced a lot, he played a lot, but to be able to do what he did and accomplish the stuff musically that he did, that was truly a God-given gift.
And he would never tell you about it either.
No, no.
He was not a self. No, I will, but he wouldn't.
Well, no, and that's
I have
good.
to do it for him.
That's good that you're taking the time to chat with us here because, we've lost a lot of great polka musicians. And I think maybe, Zach, you have opened up the floodgates to maybe for us to reach out to some other family members of different musicians who are no longer with us and have them come on and tell the story. So pat yourself on the back because this will be on YouTube forever and a day and also Facebook forever and a day until my account is closed, which I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Hey, Karen Hootie said, I had asked Jimmy why he gave Lori a failing grade for music.
He was her teacher.
Yeah, he was her teacher. Go ahead and read that, Jared, real quick.
So,
hang on a second.
Failing grade in music as he was her teacher in grammar school. He said because she sucked. Never forgot, and Lori brought it up every time they were at a dance together.
Oh, that is
priceless.
funny.
Priceless.
Hey, Christine Kapanowski is saying Jimmy was one hell of the best trumpet players ever. Love this. And Christine, you are absolutely right, kiddo. And that's why we're doing this. Hey, Zach, also, let me ask you this. What kind of genre of music does Zach listen to when he's not listening to polka music?
Mostly jazz,
Jazz,
which came from Dad. Really, honestly speaking, we did not listen to a lot of polka music at home.
Is that right?
We listened to, Tish does her radio show every Sunday.
Yeah.
We listened to that every Sunday. Outside of that, unless he was cutting an album and, had to listen to some parts or whatever, at home it was always classical music, jazz, which he also played and which he really loved. Every morning, alarm clock would go off and his radio would click on the classical music. He'd listen to it driving to work. When he was around the house, out in the yard, in the pool, doing whatever, jazz. And as I got older, I started to pick up on that. And that's what got me into jazz was my dad just listening to it all the time. And you can hear, part of what made his sound so special is he was listening to that kind of music. He was playing that kind of music. He was practicing that stuff. And you hear him play these harmony parts and these riffs, and they sort of sound like they just come out of nowhere and they fit so well. And, it's that language that he took from the other genres he was listening and playing, and he brought it into polka music.
Man, that is huge. Tony Blazonchek is on. He's tuned in right now. Also, Dave Korch. Jimmy was always a polka gentleman. You know that, Dave, I do have to admit you are correct. Anybody that he talked to, that approached him, he was just so congenial. How old was Dad when he passed? And he passed in February of 2012, correct?
Yeah, he must have been 60 years old.
Really?
Because he was born in 1951. September 1951.
I would have never taken him to be that old. Holy smokes. That is amazing. Yeah. Totally amazing.
Well, he kept active.
Yeah, well, that's probably what did it for him. Now, besides the Good Times and the Versatones and Stephanie, what other bands did he perform with?
Oh boy, I don't know. He filled in with a lot of bands. Yeah. I think my mom, I asked her about that last night, and we were talking, and he filled in with a lot. I think my mom met him in a parking lot after a polka dance he was filling in for, I think it was either Casey Homel or Stash Golonka.
Oh, wow.
So I know he did a lot of jobbing around like that, I think, just filling in. But I know the Good Times and the Versatones are the two bands and Stephanie, that he really played and recorded with.
Yeah. did Dad play a lot of weddings too, or was it just mostly the polka jobs? I mean, because Dennis does a lot of what we call contemporary jobs, whether it's weddings or private parties or whatever. But he must have really enjoyed that anyhow. I'm kind of answering the question for you. He must have enjoyed that anyhow because of knowing all the different genres of music. And
he did a
playing
lot
so
of
much.
weddings with the Good Times. He lived out on the East Coast for a few years, and he was playing jazz in the Atlantic City casino circuits.
Really?
And
Oh
he
my
was
gosh.
he was involved in some chamber music, classical stuff, orchestras. He really did a lot of things. And he was such a private guy and never wanted to talk about himself.
Yeah.
I discovered a lot of this stuff after he passed away. I'm digging through things, finding, oh, I didn't know he did that.
Wow.
He would never talk about himself like that.
No, that's true. I remember that,
Yeah.
and respected the living daylights out of that. There's a lot of musicians that have played with the big bands that really don't go around talking about themselves, which is great. I think that's
Yeah.
the key to their success, Zach. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, I mean, they're not going around saying, "Hey, look at me," and all this stuff. And your dad was definitely one of the top
And
notches.
when you're truly top notch, you don't have to, and you
Yeah.
can go back and listen to those recordings. And he left it all out on the stage and in the studio.
Yeah.
You can. I don't have to sit there and tell you. You could go listen and form your own opinion. But I think you'd agree with me.
Oh, I definitely do. Now we're coming close. I can't believe that we've been talking for a half an hour already.
Oh,
Your
geez.
Your dad was also in the United States military, was he not?
He was, yeah. So that's I think why he wasn't on that home recording with his father, because he was in Thailand.
Oh, wow. Now, what
Yep.
branch of the service was he? Army, Marines, Air Force?
Air Force. So
Air Force.
he was in the Air Force station in Thailand,
Wow.
early 70s, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Hey, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. I've got about 2 more minutes. And again, I've got to thank you, Zach. I have never met you personally. I hope that we do get a chance to say
of
hello,
course.
shake hands, and hug and whatever. But I got to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to be on here to pay tribute, in a sense, to an amazing guy. And I just can't thank you enough. Jerry and I love doing these interviews. They're very fulfilling for us. I learn a lot, but most of all, the people that are tuned in, they get a chance to learn stuff about the musicians that they've never, ever known before. So I got to thank you so much for that. Hey, 2 more questions.
Sure.
And this may not be relevant to you, but do you have, I always ask this, do you have a favorite breakdown story? That maybe you were driving to a gig with Dad, and all of a sudden, and this could have been on the Versatones bus. This could have been, just about anywhere. But do you have anything that you can share
I got
with us?
two.
Okay,
two.
go ahead.
One where I was there, and the other that we were participating in, but I wasn't there. First, I was actually there for this. We were coming back from Seven Springs. I don't remember what year it was. I was probably about 10 years old. And the bus broke down in Ohio,
Oh, okay.
and the Versatones bus.
All right.
And we
Shocker.
were, we're
Shocker.
stuck in Ohio. Yeah, the Versatones bus was notoriously great.
Yep.
And we're sitting there. I think we were just sitting on the side of the road in Ohio, and we didn't know what to do. And what happened was, the Junior wound up renting a van, like one of those big Chevy vans, and crammed the whole band in it, and me and all the wives and everybody in this van. And we had to drive home from Ohio in this van back to Bel Air. And then at the time it was with Jerry Kaminsky. He lives in Michigan, and Steve Rogers and Nigel, and those guys don't even live in Chicago. So
Yeah.
Bel Air, they had to go get in their cars and then go home. And then Junior, I think, had to go back and get the bus from Ohio maybe a week or so later. That's a good one I was there for. But my favorite breakdown story I wasn't there for. It was the Versatones. It was I was also a kid, and I remember my dad calling my mom on the phone and saying, "Hey, you got to come pick us up." we're somewhere on the side of the highway. I don't know where they were. I guess they were driving, and he was sitting in the bus with Jerry, and they felt something weird. And then they look out the window, and the wheels from the bus are rolling down the street.
What?
Yeah, and so they had to pull over, get off the bus, and they were walking around in the forest looking for the tires. I don't know how many of them came off, and I think I remember Jerry saying one of them was it hit a bump or something, and it was in a tree. But they noticed that while they're on this bus that's moving down the highway, and the wheels are moving in front of them. Hold on,
Wow.
something's wrong here.
And they all broke out singing "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round." Holy
I don't think
smokes.
that's probably not the language that was being used in the moment. But
Oh, Zach, and one more thing I do want to make mention is Mr. Dennis Motika said Zach is doing his dad proud. Smiling in heaven, I am sure. And I think everybody that has heard you today agrees wholeheartedly. But geez, oh whiz, again, I'm noticing a typo in the bottom there. I apologize for that. It says Jimmy Sierzega's son. I apologize for that. You'll be able to see that a little bit later, and you'll laugh, I'm sure.
But you spelled his name right.
Yeah, I spelled his name right, so that's all that matters. Hey, but Zach, in closing, and I want to get your sincere thought on this. Sure. What would Zach or what would Dad or both of you say to somebody wanting to get into music? What advice would you give them? The very first thing, the guy or lady is saying to you, well, I want to do this. I've never done it before. Maybe I want to be a musician, a vocalist, front man, front woman, whatever the case may be. What advice would you give to that person?
I have good perspective on this. I actually just went through this with one of my coworkers who wanted to get into music, having had no background. And my advice would be, find a way to make learning the instrument enjoyable, because it's hard. I mean, music is hard. And when you're first starting out and you know nothing about music, first you have to learn how music works, and you're trying to learn an instrument at the same time, and neither of those are easy. And if you're not having fun, it's not going to be fun at all. And if you can find a way to make it fun, play stuff you like when you're starting out, just to get a feel for the instrument or get a feel for music, anything you could do to make that fun, playing with other people, playing stuff you like is going to be great. Now, if you're going to ask me or my dad, especially my dad, okay, you started out, now you're serious, how do you get good? Practice a lot.
Yeah.
and that's tough. If you can find a way to make that fun, then you get really good, because at one point or another, you got to sit down and put in that work. But making it fun is the advice I would give.
Wow. Your dad is proud of you. I don't have to tell you that. With everything that you're doing with your life, and also with spending time just discussing Dad today with us. We can't thank you enough, everybody. Roger Malinowski says, I agree with Dennis. Don Suhan Rogers says, great interview. Christine says, they were close to Cleveland. She kind of remembers something like that. But again, Zach, I love you, buddy, from the bottom of my heart. I do hope we get a chance to say hello. And tell Mom, thank you so much for all of the contributions that she made, throughout his history. I mean, times that she had to sit at home by herself because Dad was on the road, and we all know how that goes. So she made a lot of sacrifices. You made a lot of sacrifices. And again, we can't thank you enough for spending this time with us here on Polkas After Dark. We are going to finish out this segment right now with a tune called Hey Pretty Girl. And again, we have to publicly thank Dennis Motika, your mom, Eddie Blazonczyk Jr., yourself, everybody that contributed pictures for this broadcast, and also especially Mr. Weasel Walensky for sending us some fantastic songs and these tunes.
No, I appreciate all the kind words, and I think, kind of the photos you're seeing and all this stuff that got put together is a testament to, how good these guys are. Not just my dad, but as people, the Versatones, Roger, Dennis, Jr., Bobby, all these guys. I mean, I told them, hey, I'm going on. I need photos. I need this. Can you help me out? And they were there.
Yeah.
And they they delivered. So good community, good guys, and I'm thankful for all of them.
That's what the family is all about, Zach.
Yep.
It really is. Hey, thank you so much. God bless you. We will see you hopefully soon. Here is a tune right now. Eddie Blazonczyk and the Versatones. Here's one called Hey, Pretty Girl.
Hey, pretty girl, won't you dance with me? Can't you see how happy I would be? One time around the floor, but maybe we'll dance once more. Hey, pretty girl, won't you dance with me? One time around the floor, but maybe we'll dance once more. Hey, pretty girl, won't you dance with me? Just can't take my eyes off of you. Please don't let me stop. Let me take you by the hand. Hey, pretty girl, won't you dance with me? Please don't let me stop. Let me take you by the hand. Hey, pretty girl, won't you dance with me? Rano porosie, wyganiało ludzi, pole rozwinęło się, moja dana, moja dana, moja dana, będzie ty moja dana, będzie ty moja, moja dana, moja dana, moja dana, będzie ty moja dana, będzie ty moja. A ja sobie tu dziewczyny tak przyśpiewuję. Moja dana, moja dana, będzie ty moja dana, będzie ty moja. Moja dana, będzie ty moja dana, będzie ty moja. wszystkiemu godzinę po północy. Będzie po wszystkiemu godzinę po północy. Moje perełeczka i żonę mi wybrali. Moje perełeczka i żonę mi wybrali. Będzie weselisko ej na te piękne sali. Będzie weselisko ej na te piękne sali.
Hi, this is Richie Dombrowski of the Polka Country Musicians inviting you to join us for the 9th annual Ocean Beach Park Polka Days taking place at beautiful sunny Ocean Beach Park in New London, Connecticut, June 19th to June 22nd, 2024. Yours truly, the Polka Country Musicians, will once again be your host band as we bring you some of the nation's finest polka bands. This year, joining us at Ocean Beach Park Polka Days will be Frank Liska's Blue Magic, Polka Family Band, Matt's All-Stars, the Dynabrass, Eddie Foreman Orchestra, The Beat, the Maestro's Men, the New Tones, and returning once again to Ocean Beach, Wisconsin's own Live Wire. They'll all be joining yours truly, the Polka Country Musicians, to make this another great polka weekend. We'll get this party started once again on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. on the boardwalk with PCM, and music will continue Thursday through Saturday in the picnic pavilion during the day and in the ballroom all evening long. For tickets, questions, and any other information, please visit our website at www.oceanbeachparkpolkadays.com and follow us on our Facebook page, Ocean Beach Park Polka Days. It's going to be a great time at Ocean Beach Park Polka Days 2024. We can't wait to see you all again. Make your plans now to join us. You'll be glad you did. We hope to see you all again at the beach.
Yeah, you'll definitely be seeing everybody at the beach. And once again, Zach Jersa, what a class act. You know, he says, thank you so much, Robin, for having me on. He also mentioned there's a good video for you guys to try to locate with Eddie Blazon playing Hey Pretty Girl at Pulaski Polka Days, again on YouTube. Please make sure you guys, if you get a chance, take a run over there either now or after the broadcast. See if you can locate it. I'm sure you can. Just put in the Versatones and Pulaski Polka Days, Hey Pretty Girl. You're going to see a few of them, and it does feature Jimmy on the trumpet and Weasel on horns, and I don't know who exactly else at that particular time because they played with Al Pietkowski. They also played with Richie Tokarz, and we're going to be ending out the show with a song that we usually play at the end of a broadcast on a Saturday evening, but we've got to do it because it's going to be just a great, great time. Hey, Christine Kapanowski said, just came back from the Panama Brews Cruise with PCM and also with the boys. And just everybody had a great time. She said staying in Miami for 2 months. Well, Christine, that is so nice of you to maybe get a chance and send us some airline tickets. We would love to come down and hang out with you for a couple of days. That's very, very nice. I think Don Suhan Rogers could probably fix us up with something.
You keep saying that.
With a deal anyhow. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to charge us triple.
More than likely, yes, she would. Hey, here's Lenny Gomolka's Chicago Push. You know, you guys have heard us promote this throughout the different broadcasts, and you definitely need to make your reservations for this. And that is Val's Dingus Day weekend as it returns back to its former glory at the newly renovated M Hotel. That was formerly the Millennium Hotel. And Jerry, tell everybody a little bit about that, if you wouldn't mind.
On Sunday, March 31st, 2024, doors open at 5 p.m. Music is going to start at 6 until midnight. And it will be featuring the music of Lenny Gomolka and Chicago Push and 7. and the Twigs Lounge will be open as well. It is kicking off with the blessing of the instruments, as Vale's Dingus Day is well known for.
Oh yeah.
On Monday, April 1st.
April,
Sorry.
nope, I
April
knew where you were going with
1st.
that.
Doors open at 11. Music starts at noon, and that's going to start with John Stevens, aka Double Shot, and they're going to be in the courtyard by the pool, which is the picture that Robin is showing.
Yep, you're going to see that right now, along with two awesome bands, a country band and a rock band.
Absolutely.
And who
in
is
the
that?
evening, it's going to be West of the Mark and Flipside.
Yeah, going to be a great, great weekend, folks. As Jerry mentioned, we're going to be kicking things off at the Twix Hotel.
Kicking
Twix,
it at Twix.
Kicks at Twix. Yeah, you know.
On Saturday, we're doing a live broadcast from there. Y'all can come and hang out with us and dance, have fun.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a live
Wish
broadcast.
everybody a happy Easter.
We will definitely be doing the live
So
broadcast.
on Monday, the music will be provided by Livewire and the Dingus Day All-Star Band in the evening.
Yeah.
And there will be a special appearance by Dr. John Volby.
Yes, that's going to be great too.
Gonna be great.
He's going to do his remarkable song, which we're going to bring up right after this tune by Lenny Gomolka's Chicago Push. Here's one featuring Dee Dee. Here's one called Zagrajcie.
Zagrajcie sirati dance, zagrajcie, watch them make romance. Patrzcie jak tańcują i jak się miłują, hej frania tra la la la. Patrzcie jak tańcują i jak się miłują, hej frania tra la la la.
Hey, good evening to Mr. Samuel Coates. Sammy's here. Good evening to you on Polkas After Dark. Also, Jen Tucker-Pianowski and Mary Lou Cerniak.
Zagrajcie, drink your toast today. Zagrajcie, let your cares away. Na zdrowie ciągle pić i troszki odpolić. Hej, Krasiu, tra la la la. Na zdrowie ciągle pić i troszki odpolić. Hej, Jasiu, tra la la la. Zagrajcie, sing a happy song. Zagrajcie, come on, sing along. Śpiewać pieśń będzie tak wesoło razem. Hej, Stasiu, tra la la la. Śpiewać pieśń będzie tak wesoło razem. Hej, Stasiu, tra la la la. Tra la la la. Patrzcie jak tańcują i jak się miłują. Hej Zosia, tra la la la. Zagrajcie, drink a toast today. Zagrajcie, left your cares away. Na zdrowie ciągle pić i troszki odpolić. Hej Rysiu, tra la la la. Na zdrowie ciągle pić i troszki odpolić. Hej Rysiu, tra la la la.
LG, Lenny Gomolka, Chicago Push. They're going to be joining everybody over at the M Hotel. at 2040 Walden. And the telephone number to get your room reservation is 716-681-2400. Try to join us if you can on Saturday night, even if you're not coming in to stay over. Maybe you're a local yokel, as we call them. And what's the matter?
Oh, I was just going to say, make sure you mention the Dingus Day rate to get a discounted price on the room.
The Dingus Day rate.
Yeah, that's what it says. Okay. Ask for the Dingus Day rate. So
Ask for the Dingus
not
Day
the Polka
rate.
rate, not anything else. They're going to know it as the Dingus Day rate.
The Dingus Day rate. Okay. Well, make sure that you do that. Join Jerry and I on Saturday evening. And if you can't join us live, you'll be able to at least watch us live on Facebook and YouTube.
We'll be there.
Because they are putting in, believe it or not, we met with the folks over there, the manager, Ravi, and also we talked to the head tech. His name slips me right now, but they are putting in an internet connection in the Twix Lounge, which is right behind, right here. That's where we're going to be broadcasting, and they're going to put in an internet connection for us to be able to do that live broadcast on Saturday, March the 30th. Now, again, March the 31st is AKA Easter Sunday pre-Dingus that Val ran every single year for many, many years until COVID came up and jumped on us and kind of took a lot of things away from us. But Lenny Gomolka's Chicago Push, the band 7, they're going to be performing, our local Buffalo group. They're going to be performing there on Easter Sunday. And then on Monday, you've got John Stevens out by the pool. And then for the evening in the hall, it's the Livewire Band from Wisconsin, along with Jackie Libera, Eric Bukowski, and a whole host of fantastic musicians, excluding one. But it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're so critical
over
of yourself.
over there, and I'm playing bass, and it's like, okay, this will be a lot of fun.
It will be.
But it's going to be cool because
I get to be a groupie again.
Yeah, there you go.
Bet my eyes at you.
That'll be nice.
Maybe I get to take you home with me.
Oh,
ooh!
Yeah, I think what we're doing is we're staying. We can get a hotel room.
Ooh.
What do you say? We already have a hotel room. For Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Folks, we do hope that you're able to join us because it's going to be a lot of fun. And then you've got the evening West of the Mark and Flipside that are going to be doing a great job there. We also mentioned John Volby. This guy is going to be Dr. Dirty. He is going to be entertaining you guys with a song called Dingus Day, Buffalo.
Another year.
Come on, get down. There's a party all over town.
you're going to be able to see the doctor. That's right. John Volby, he's going to be entertaining you guys on Monday, Dingus Day, over at the M Hotel. Once again, 2040 Walden Avenue. Make your reservation 681-2400. That's an area code 716. So let me hit that again. 716-681-2400. And Jerry, what is the code that they use? Just Dingus Day?
Dingus Day rate. It said ask for the
Dingus
Dingus Day rate.
Ask for the Dingus
And
Day
it says that all rooms include a hot buffet breakfast each day.
Yes. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Holy cow. That is true.
I'm all about the food. That's bad. I used to be all about the drinks. Now I'm all excited for breakfast.
There you go. Hey, here's another song by Dennis Motika, The Good Times. Here's one called One More Time, Polka.
To play our last song. It's time to say Dobranos. We play all night long. Don't turn out the lights, it might not be over yet. There's a man in the back shouting, one more time! One more time! One more time! Muzykanty jeszcze raz zagrajcie one more time. Wave your hanky side to side, that'll give the band a sign. Hey, muzykanty jeszcze raz, one more time. Hey, zagrajcie jeszcze raz, muzykanci. The time has come to say dobranoc for a little while. The party is over, but don't take off that smile. The fat lady, she ain't singing her last goodbye. There's a man in the back shouting, one more time! One more time! One more time! Muzykanty jeszcze raz zagrajcie one more time. Wave your hanky side to side, that'll give the band a sign. Hey, muzykanty jeszcze raz, one more time. Hey, one more time! Let's do it!
Hey, folks, you probably heard us mention yesterday briefly that a very good friend of ours and fellow drummer, fellow musician, Mr. Jim Miller out of Wisconsin passed away yesterday. And we were so thankful to at least have talked to him, Jerry and I, probably about a month or so ago. He was getting a little bit excited that he was going to be one of our interviews upcoming. And unfortunately, Jim passed away yesterday. And, you know, you're in our thoughts and prayers, Jim. And God bless you. God bless everybody that knew you. And we're going to play a nice little waltz featuring Jim on the drums with Chad Shabilsky's band. Here's one called In the Fields Waltz.
Naszła pukrowa, rączyby dobrowa. Powiecie mnie, moja miła, czyżbym gdzieś moja. Powiecie mnie, moja miła, czyżbym gdzieś moja. Jak windy płoda, oczy by dość dał. I ty pijany zon marzieniu, co on od ludnego ma. I ty pijany zon marzieniu, co on od ludnego ma. Ci kłoda, moja mnie zmicie, powiedz na oddaniu, pozem nas ma się. Powiedz na oddaniu, pozem nas ma się. Dam jarwi wrogra i dla je śpiewa, a mama w zobaczeniu będziemy zdrowia. A mama w zobaczeniu będziemy zdrowia.
Rest in peace, Mr. Jim Miller. You will be sadly missed by all of your polka family and friends that loved you and admired your professional playing skills. And again, we're going to miss you, buddy. Hey, here's a live Eddie B. I Met a Girl polka. Here's the Versatones.
Nocami znalazłem dziewczynę z czarnymi łockami. Znalazłem dziewczynę z czarnymi łockami. I moja dziewczyna potańczy mi rączkę. I o tobie nałożę pan ślubną obrączkę. I o tobie nałożę pan ślubną obrączkę.
Hi, this is Paul.
Właśnie do kościoła rączki się podali, błagać się na wieki sobie przysięgali, błagać się na wieki sobie przysięgali. Do komuś najważniej wszyscy święci, będziemy się błagać aż do samej śmierci. Będziemy się błagać aż do samej śmierci.
that's another tune. Eddie Blazonczyk and the Versatones. We've got one more before we change a couple of things over.
Sing along as we polka home to the Polka Celebration. When you're feeling down and out and need some cheering up, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. Get on out and listen to your favorite polka band. It's guaranteed to help you chase away the blues. We're gonna have a polka celebration. You bring your friends out and I'll bring mine. We're gonna have a polka celebration. We're gonna party and have a good time. The music's got that magic that will set your heart whirl. It's happy rhythm, makes you feel so fine. It's got that touch of happiness, you smile, it cheers you up. There's nothing like a polka, any place or any time. We're gonna have a polka celebration. You bring your friends out, and I'll bring mine. We're gonna have a polka celebration. We're gonna party and have a good. Everybody celebrate. We're gonna have a polka celebration. You bring your friends out, and I'll bring mine. We're gonna have a polka celebration. We're gonna party and have a. Let's hear you celebrate. We're gonna. Oh yeah. We're gonna have a polka celebration. You bring your friends out, and I'll bring mine. We're gonna have a polka celebration. We're gonna party and have a good time. Everybody celebrate.
Hey, that is one called Polka Celebration live from 1986. And folks, you're tuned to Polkas After Dark. It is about 6:43 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, we've got to publicly thank Mr. Zach Jersa for taking the time to pay, man, what was an awesome tribute to his father, Jimmy Sierzega. And just a huge interview there. And we want to make sure that you guys get a chance. If you missed any of it or all of it, you can get a chance to catch it again over on our YouTube channel. And that is youtube.com, and just type in Polkas After Dark. Once you get to the Polkas After Dark, type in Zachary Sierzega, spelled Z-I-E-R. I'm sorry, S-I-E-R. See, I'm doing that again. S-I-E-R.
Don't listen to him. Just look up Zach. We don't have many of those.
Yeah.
It'll come up with a couple interviews.
And there you go. And it will be one that you definitely want to get to chance to listen to. Hey, we're going to say hello to Mr. Vinny Bozzarelli, and happy birthday to you, Vinny. 66 years young today. He's got me beat by 1 year, but not too far, because I'm going to turn 66 in August 25th. Hey, you know, we've got a whole lot of things still that we want to make mention to you guys, and we just don't have time today. Please join us again next week, Saturday, right here, Polkas After Dark Facebook Live, and also
YouTube?
YouTube, you're saying that so hesitant. Hannah Yash is here.
I
Hello,
wasn't
Hannah.
listening to you as
Hello,
usual.
Hannah. Hannah. Diane Kopka said,
He
so
knows
sorry
how to
hear
spell your
about-
name,
about
Jill.
Jimmy. What?
Jill said, I want to know how you would spell Cherniak.
Let's see. Churneek. Cherniak. Right? Is that it? Okay, good. Oh, boy. Hey, we're glad you guys are back from your Bruise Cruise. You had a lot of fun. We got a chance to see a lot of great videos of PCM, Polka Country musicians. Also, of the final appearance of Mr. Michael Matusak with the boys band. We're going to miss them. Don't forget Frankie Lishka and Blue Magic is going to be entertaining you over at Potts on Easter Sunday as well as Dingus Day Monday, along with the Dyna Brass. They're going to be there too. And here's one by the Dyna Brass that we're going to send out to the lovely Jennifer Pianowski.
I've been walking these shores all my day, but with you by my side, I am walking on the way.
Hey, good evening to Ray J and also to Marianne Yaroshinsky. Ken Novoski, he's here too. Andrew Ratajczak, we're going to try to get that song in for you here, buddy. And also the lovely Diane Kopka.
There's two lovers in the distance as they walk down to the sand. Their silhouettes are on the water as they're walking hand in hand. And it's a game of sweet surrender when there's nothing left to say. And there are moments to remember once these days have gone away. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves.
They also say hello to Mr. Steve Gramala down in Dunkirk. He and I are going to be hanging sometime this week.
Look out on the ocean, see the headlands and the strands, and you wonder what horizons will shape tomorrow's plans. And through the turning of the seasons and the cycle of the days, every drink's another reason to let tomorrow sail away. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. The surfing of the ocean, breakers on the shore, the echoes of our bodies, the lovers' dreams we soar. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. But with you by my side, I am walking on the waves.
Hi, this is Paul Romanowski. If you're looking for good, authentic Polish and Italian sausage, then give me a call at Romo's Catering. We make true, authentic, fresh Polish and smoked Polish kielbasa, as well as mild and spicy Italian sausage. My uncle from Poland taught me how to make the sausage for our family, but now we've taken it a step further and make it available to you. This is true, authentic Polska kielbasa and Italian sausage. All you have to do is give me a call at 704-989-1198. We're always taking orders. You can also email me at paul@romoscatering.com. Thank you, Robin and Jerry, for letting me share this with you and your listeners. If you would like kielbasa, we are taking orders now, and you'll have it in time for Easter, properly shipped to your door. Just call me, 704-989-1198. Thanks.
All right, Mr. Paul Romanowski, a very good friend from many, many, many eons ago.
And all you Carolinians need to keep that in mind, too, because fresh Polish sausage is not something you can get easily in North Carolina,
Oh,
and I
that's
know that for a
right.
fact.
That's right,
I
'cause
know that
Mom's
for a
down
fact.
there.
Yes. So I'm gonna have to get in touch with Karina and let her know.
Yeah, and also Danny. I hope he ships to New Mexico.
I
I'm
think
sure
he
he would.
does. He said to your door.
Yeah,
that would be his door.
Cool. See, what would be more impressive is if he put on like a chef's hat, had some barbecue utensils, and he actually showed up at your door and knocked on the door and said, "Here's your Polish sausage." That would be
I
kind
think
of
it'd
cool.
be better if Mason delivered.
Hey, that would be cool too. Throw him on a plane and just give him a list of people that he's got to
I think he
drop
gets
it
a
off
discount
at.
for
Hey, what was that telephone number again
It was
for Romo?
704-989-1198.
Okay, perfect. Kids, if you're interested, make sure that you get a chance and order your smoked or fresh Polish sausage and spicy Italian sausage.
Do you
Boy, that
remember when
sounds
we
good,
went
too.
down around Easter time?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
and we took
couldn't-
all those goodies with us.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
just can't get them down there.
That is for sure. Hey, happy birthday to Vinny Bozzarelli. Here's a tune called Open Up Your Heart. We'll let the sounds come in. Polkas After Dark, folks. Thanks so much for putting us on. If you've been listening in your car.
Thanks for the ride.
And if you've been listening in a plane.
Thanks for the flight.
Yep,
or
Jimmy-
the frequent flyer miles.
Frequent flyer miles.
And if
Hey,
you're listening on a cruise,
yeah, well, too late now.
thanks for the ride.
Too late now. You know, it's funny because Jimmy K was watching us at 30,000 feet yesterday. That was totally amazing.
Open up your heart and let my love come in. Open up your heart and let my life begin. The sun's gonna shine, there'll be blue skies again. If you open up your heart and let my love come in. I know you've been hurt by an old love affair, but darling, don't blame me, I wasn't even there. Your long, lonely nights I will bring to an end. If you open up your heart and let my love come in. Won't you open up your heart and let my love come in? Open up your heart and let my life begin. The sun's gonna shine, there'll be blue skies again. If you open up your heart and let my love come in. Someone before me has treated you like dirt. Someone before me has made your heart hurt. Your long and lonely nights I will bring to an end when you open up your heart and let my love come in. Won't you open up your heart and let my love come in? Open up your heart and let my life begin. The sun's gonna shine, there'll be blue skies again. If you open up your heart and let my love come in. Open up your heart and let my love come in. Open up your heart and let my life begin. The sun's gonna shine, there'll be blue skies again. If you open up your heart and let my love come in.
Hey, thanks for all the kudos, everybody. We do appreciate it. And also, Chris Curtis, happy birthday to Sandy. And this, of course, is for the lovely Chris Tansky. She said she hasn't heard this waltz in a long time. We've got the Dynatones singing it. Here's one called the Broken Hearted Waltz.
Broken hearted, sad and blue, missing no one else but you, thinking of you night and day. Come back to me is what I pray. On the day that we first met, it was a dream divine. Was a dream divine. I held you close in my arms and vowed that I would make you mine. I held you close in my arms and vowed that I would make you mine.
Hey folks, you know, we are going to end this broadcast out with a fantastic version featuring Mr. Richie Tokaj, also with Weasel and Sierzega on the horns. Richie, of course, is singing his favorite medley to everybody. We thank you ever so much for tuning us in this weekend. Thanks again to Zach Jersa to spend some time with us this evening to talk about Dad Jimmy. Let's see, this was Jerry Darlak, also JT on drums, and of course Eddie.
Łojki baboczo liczę, z czego zawsze mordeczesz. Nie dasz wypić, nie da spać, a każdy nie da sprać. Pita ręczki pawole, a co zrobił w stodole? Zrobiłeś mi tam kupę, za dokopnę cię w dupę. I piernę przestawić, uczciwe nie bić. Jak ty przyjdziesz pijany, będziesz spał ze świniami. Nie będziesz mi tu siedział, nie będziesz mi tu śmierdział, nie będziesz ty pieronie, więcej w domu mi pierdział. Życie mam baksycie i chłopak się płyna. Ojca krew cholera, upił się jak świnia. Upił się jak świnia i cieszczy jak żaba. Oj, czakre, cholera, przeklina go baba, przeklina go baba, bo powódkę pije. To jest na cholera, jak się mordę zbije, jak się mordę zbije, wygonię na pole. Będziesz ty, cholera, z bykiem spał w stodole. Hej! Ale czy noc, czakre, a co serce? Oj, ty babo, co ty chcesz, czego zawsze mordę dziesz? Nie dasz wypić, nie da spać, a teraz mi nie da spać. Ty do ręcznik babole, a co sam zrobił w stodole? Zrobiłaś mi tą kupę, za to kopnę cię w dupę. Oj, ty hopnę, jak ci dam, zawsze trudę z tobą mam. Jak pień wódkę, jak pijesz, inne babę całujesz. Wyciągnę po procie, bo ci będzie tu bosie. Wygonię cię w pieronie, szukaj się jeden żonę. Czego padło, krzyczysz, czego się ta ciepła? Za to, że przeglinasz, to pójdziesz do piekła. Zamkło, nie mordę, nie gadaj za wiele. Ty czakre, cholera, tyś głupi jak ciele. Tyś głupi jak ciele i masz brozą frytki. Oj, czakre, cholera, to wszystko ładowatki. To wszystko ładowatki, to wszystko ładliwa. Oj, czakre, cholera, baba go wierzyła. Hej!
You guys know this is my favorite part coming up.
Hey!
Check out these horns.
Przegrajcie! Ale grajcie smutno! Bo jutro jedzie łatwo! Little bit of son of a gun and Chakre Cholera. Thank you very much.